सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्मविद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च ऋतं पिबन्तौ सुकृतस्य लोके गुहां प्रविष्टौ परमे परार्धे छायातपौ ब्रह्मविदो वदन्ति पञ्चाग्नयो ये चत्रिणाचिकेताः। So today we start a new Valli. Valli means a section. The Kathopanishad is divided into 3 sections, each of which has subsections. And so we are in the 3rd subsection of the 1st chapter. And before starting anything new, there is always a question. What is the question? Why is this necessary? What for is this needed? Nothing is redundant. You see, everything has a purpose and a meaning. And opening the Bhashya, the commentary, for this new Valli or the new chapter, not chapter, subsection, the final subsection of the 1st chapter, Adi Shankara gives a small, what is called an introductory bhashya, not so much an introductory bhashya as a connecting bhashya, because you can't suddenly have the words, they have to connect to what previously came, and they also have to connect to what went later, what is going to come later on. So the importance, the salience of this particular section is described by Adi Shankara very well. And then what does he say? He says everything was given in the last section. What did we have in the last section? We had Brahma Vidya in the last section. Before the Brahma Vidya, in the previous section before that, what did we have? We had the first 2 boons of Nachiketa. Nachiketa asked for 3 things. The first 2 boons are within samsara, and the last one is what? Out of samsara. What are the first 2 boons? Then? How to go to heaven? Why is heaven important? Because it's the last, in Australia they have the outback. This is the outback of the Vedas. Yeah. And if you are a Vedantin, you back out of this. This heaven is presented as the outback, is the furthest reaches within samsara, from which you back out, you learn to back out if you are a Vedantin. So the heaven going represents the dissatisfaction within oneself, and trying to assuage this dissatisfaction by milking the samsara cow to the extent that you can possibly milk it. And if you milk everything out of samsara, the best thing that you can get is Brahma Lokat Prapti. What is Brahmaloka Prapti? The gain of Brahmaloka. What is so special about Brahmaloka? Brahmaji presides there, Bhagavan in the form of the creator. And what happens there? You sit on cloud 9, and then there also you have the same mantra, Om Sahana Vavatu, etc. And then you think, oh, I'm studying something special with Brahmaji. But he will also start Ritam Pibantau Sukrutasya Loke, and then you feel little sad. Why? Because right here, right now, you have a deja vu sitting in the heaven. Even in heaven, in the far reaches of heaven, you feel sad. Yeah. Why I didn't learn it there? I didn't even have to leave home. It was being taught over the internet. And here I did all this upasana, I did all this karma, I did all these things to just, it's like repeating a class. In India, I don't know if it is here, if they have a final exam after every class. And then the worst thing is to be made to repeat that class, You didn't pass the final exam. So that was also given in the first portion of the teaching. How to go to heaven, the recipe was given. Doesn't matter why, but it was asked, it was given. Then also finally, what is this thing that everyone wants and what happens after death? Is there such a thing called the Atma? What is the nature was also asked as the third one, and I want to know something that is beyond good and bad, beyond past and future, all these things, beyond time, beyond place. What is this? I want to know. This was asked and the answer given. Najayate mriyate va ityadi. That which is not subject to birth, that which is not subject to death, etc. All this was given. Now what else is left to give? So first it was talked about that there are two roads. What are the two roads? Shreyas and Preyas. Which Upanishad these two words come? Kena Upanishad? Mundaka? Brihadaranyaka? Taittiriya? Huh? Which Upanishad the words? Huh? Kathopanishad, exactly. Right here. Yeah. Two margas are there. It was talked about. Like the Atma, it's right in front but it's missed. So even this is right. Right here it is missed. So two things, two margas, two roads are given. What are the two roads? One is called Shreyas, gaining which there is nothing to gain. And Shreyas occurs in the last portion of the Veda, correct? Vedanta, the knowledge of Vedanta gives Shreyas. Because Shreyas means the most exalted pursuit, which can only be the seeking of moksha, nothing else. So then Shreyas was given, and then Preyas was given. What is Preyas? You keep praying for something or the other. That's how to remember. When you keep praying, give me this, give me that, oh Lord, give me this, give me that. There is one song also, oh Lord, please get me a Mercedes Benz. There's one song, a gospel song from long ago. Yeah. Oh Lord, give me a color TV. This is when the color TVs were very rare. So there is a song. So like this, when you keep praying for things in samsara, that is called prayas. Shreyas is when you say, I only pray for one thing. Let me stop praying, preying. Let me stop wanting this or the other. I pray for all my to give me that one thing, gaining which all desires are resolved, which is the truth of myself. That is Shreyas. So these two were talked about, and the Upanishad also told us that these two roads are not, parallel roads or anything, they are divergent roads. Not only are they, are they roads that lead to the same goal? No, they don't. Not only they parallelly lead to two equally exalted goals, no. They are divergent roads. One leads to the sorry go round of samsara. Keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back, keep coming back. One is like the hamster's wheel. You keep thinking you are moving, and then without moving, you are moving. You are moving only in the machinations of your own mental ambitions, that's all. And the other one is a true movement. Why is it a true movement? Because it brings you out of samsara through a cognitive shift in the mind to know that what you are seeking is really yourself. The end is you. And what are the means? You. Who is the wayfarer? You. Where are you going? To yourself. You know. The other one is going everywhere without reaching anywhere. And here is reaching without going. These are the two roads. One is prayas, the first one. Going everywhere without reaching anything, prayas. And shreyas. What is shreyas? Reaching without going anywhere. Why? Because the wayfarer happens to be you. And what you are seeking also happens to be you. The sought is you. Seeker is you. Seeker being the sought. There is nothing to seek. And once you know this, there is nothing more to do. So these two roads were described as bhinna phalake. Bhinna phalake means having two opposite. Bhinna here doesn't mean, different. Bhinna means opposite. Viparita phalake means they have fruits which they bear fruits. These two roads lead to ends which are opposite to one another. That's what I said. The road not taken, divergent roads. Because when people are at the crossroad of life, they look at these two roads. Like I was mentioning, Robert Frost wrote a poem, A Road Not Taken, or something like that it was called. And when you look at the road not taken, 20 years hence, you wish you had taken that road. Because after now one is more educated, has had more experiences. What kind of experiences? Disappointing experiences. To know that I wish I had studied this earlier, I wish I had taken that road rather than this. Okay? So those regrets will be there. And then even though the two roads were described as viparita phalake, meaning one takes you off on a tangent, the other one is the real road that you are seeking, even though it was told, the roads themselves were not described properly. Neither was the journey, what it looks like. And neither was really the fruit of taking the wrong road described properly. Whereas the right road leads you to the right end, which is yourself. The wrong road leads you to a ditch. And how to prepare for this journey was also not described properly. And so let there not be any confusion. Saying this, the new Valli is begun. Who says? Adi Shankara says. Let us look at the Bhashya briefly. Very nice Bhashya. Ritam pibantau iti asyaha valyaha sambandha. So now this valli that is going to begin with the words Ritam pibantau etc. we are going to present the sambandha, the connection with everything else, with what went previously. Vidya vidye, vidya and avidya. Two together, vidya vidye. Like lata late, dual. So vidya vidye means vidya plus avidya, which is what? Shreyas and prayas. Yeah. Nana doesn't mean grandfather here. Nana means many, manifold. Viruddha phalake, I explained that, giving opposite results. Avidya leads to more samsara and vidya leads to moksha, that we have seen. Iti upanyaste, this was unfolded previously. Adi Shankara says, Natu safale te yathavat nirnite. But they were not talked about along with the fruits of what will happen, along with the results of what will happen if each person follows one or the other, margas. Where will they end up? And lest the student think that both of them are equal, because that's the temptation. I can go this way, I can go that way, I can take Shreyas, or if I don't have time for Shreyas, I'll go via Preyas. That is not an option. This is what is being pointed out here. Safale here, Safale means along with the phala. Phalena saha vartate iti saphala. So, along with the result, te yathavat nirnite, na nirnite. They were not determined. The fruits of these kinds of goings were not determined. The fruits of following Shreyas were clearly not depicted. The fruits of following Preyas, the road of Preyas, were also not depicted. Tan nirnayartha, to understand this. What is the this here? Tat nirnayartha. To understand this. What is the this? The consequences on going on the road of Shreyas or Preyas, also known as the road of self-knowledge or the road of self-confusion, were not pointed out, and to determine those, Ratha Rupaka Kalpana Tathaja Pratipatti Saukaryam. So to determine this, the Kathopanishad is now going to give an allegory of the chariot. Yeah. This I spoke about recently in Detroit, in Dr. Khilnani's house. Yeah, he's here. Yes, he's here. So this was in his house. Last we talked about. And so this is what it is. So the Ratha Kalpana, the chariot allegory or the chariot imagery, is given to better assimilate what happens when you go on each of these roads. You think there is a choice. Shreyas I will take, and if I don't have time for Shreyas, Preyas, kabhi kabhi Shreyas, kabhi kabhi Preyas. That's not an option. Sometimes Shreyas, sometimes Preyas means what? The person is all the time confused. That's all it is. So that means there is a difficulty in making the decision. And if there is a difficulty in making the decision, it can only mean one thing. What is that one thing that it can mean? That one doesn't have enough information, correct? Or it could also mean another thing. What is that other thing? That one is, confused about the values. Confused about the values of each of the things. Either because one doesn't have the information, or because even though the information is given to them, they are not able to determine this because of certain blocks, resistance and fears and desires. This is all it means. So Adi Shankara says, the Upanishad is so kind that she pratipatti saukaryartham. Saukarya means for ease of pratipatti. Pratipatti, understand, from pat to fall. Pratipat, to fall very nicely. What does pratipat means? For the understanding to fall nicely in the mind. That is what. Pratipatti saukaryartham. In order that this be understood very well, Iyam Valli Arabhyate. This Valli is going to begin. Is going to be begun. He says, and then evam cha, and also praptr prapya gantr gantavya vivekartham dvau atmanau upanyasyete. Out of this, I'm sure that even people who have basic knowledge of Sanskrit would have, said, what is this dvau atmanau? Dvau atmanau means what?
Two.
See, that's what I'm saying. Two atmas are going to be presented, so says Adi Shankara. Yeah, one atma also to know it takes several lifetimes. That too with great difficulty it is understood. Now if the second fellow is also introduced, one fellow also we cannot barely understand. Abhi dusra bhi aa jayega. The second one is also introduced. Then how many more lifetimes will we need? No. We have to trust Adi Shankara, who says that the Shruti wants only pratipatti saukarya, meaning wants us to have ease of understanding. So the two are going to be presented. Obviously one is going to be swallowed and one is going to remain. So that is what. Then there is another big compound. This is actually one word. Prapt prapya gantra gantavya vivekartham. That's one word, okay? Let us unlock it. Praptru means prapta, means the one who is the gainer. Then prapyam. Prapyam means what? That which is to be gained. So to the gainer and the gained. And gantru. Gantru means what? The goer. And gantavya, destination, to be gone. So the goer and the destination, the wayfarer and the destination, the gainer and the gained, vivekartham, to give the discriminatory understanding between who is the gainer, what is the gained, and who is the wayfarer, what is the destination, to make this really clear, and to also make it very clear that there is not that even though the two roads were presented, Shreyas and Preyas, it's a choiceless choice. Which one should you choose?
Shreyas.
That at least was unanimous. Habba. See, the Vedanta teacher should be easily pleased. So annually, if one correct answer comes out, one should rejoice. So, of course, one has to choose Shreyas. But what about Preyas? We have to tell. This is what is the Samsari is told, that if you choose the Shreyas, Preyas is automatically coming, included. Oh, okay, in that case, all right, I'll sit and listen to the rest of the class. Tab theek hai. If it was two exclusive things, then I don't know, because when you see the road not taken, there is no flower trees on either side, there is no grass growing, there are no fruits hanging, there are no booths and music coming. The other road is full of, it looks like a mela. Mela means like a fair. Town fair has come on this road. There are people dancing and playing and children and all kinds of noises and everything. Of course, sometimes some of them are also screaming. But the music is drowning out the screaming. And in the other road, sunsan, very quiet and just not a single sound. And then you look, who is going there? A few people in orange. That's all, and everybody is quiet. You feel scared. Why to go on this? But then the person, the Brahma Vidya Upadesha Karta, the teacher says, what does the teacher says? The teacher says, if you go on the road of prayers, you hear those screams? Yeah, but they are in the background. No, those can become your screams. In fact, your screams are only amplified here. And the music which is drowning it out will not work after a few lifetimes. In fact, even after a few hours in this lifetime alone, because the music was drowning out the pain, and then you will be drowning in the pain, and you will not have any way of coming out of it. But the fruits are nice, and the different dances are nice, and then so the Mahavakya Upadesha Karta, the teacher, guides the people on the road to Shreyas, saying that if you choose Shreyas, Preyas is automatically included, because it's a higher pursuit. And why else? Because what you really want is Shreyas. Yeah, that's what it is. Like the 2-year-old, when it is extremely tired and what it really needs to do is to sleep. What does it say? I want to go to toy store. And you say, no, I want to go to toy store, I want toys. Not now. And of course we make up all kinds of stories. It is too late, it will be closed. I don't care, I want to go. And here the 92-year-old also doesn't have Viveka. 92-year-old also has the same doubt. Where is the toy store? I don't want. And and the mother of the child knows. Mother knows what it needs is a good night's rest, and then the father knows what it needs is to go to sleep. And then tomorrow it will be fine. But it will not go to sleep. It will keep on hankering for something that it really doesn't need. Yeah, what it wants and what it needs, there is a big gap, because it thinks the want and the need are the same. Yeah. And here too, for the Aviveki 92-year-old, same thing. The tantrum is, I want instant gratification. Everything in this world is instant. Instant coffee, instant, instant hair, instant this, instant teeth. Everything is immediately instant. And so too, this whole world of instant gratification is it's a huge deterrent from seeking this knowledge. And so, in this world of instant gratification, the person wants to be satiated by fulfilling various desires. And like I said, there is a big gap between what one wants and what one thinks one wants. Yeah. So the 2-year-old thinks, I need a toy, I need chocolate, I need to go here, I need to go there. The 92-year-old also thinks something similar. So therefore, this is because there is no viveka. The child, of course, doesn't have viveka. And we also saw in the first portion, na samparayah pratibhati balam. They are all balaha. Pramadyantam vittamohena mudham. Ayameva asti na ataf parah iti mani. This is what it was. It was Lord Yama says that. Samparayah means this whole the pursuit that is guided by the natural interest. What happens after death? Why do I keep coming back? That curiosity, that analysis doesn't come for the child, the inner child, the one who is having no viveka. Pramadyantam, repeating the same mistakes of seeking the finite, seeking the infinite in the place of the finite. In finite places, one looks for the infinite. Pramadyantam, vittamohena mudham, deluded by the desire for money and power. They say all that is here is this alone. There is nothing else beyond this prayers. This is how the samsari, it was seen very clearly in the last 2 vallis, that this is how the samsari behaves. And so, what one wants really is Shreyas. Really, that's what one wants. One wants to have a completeness after desiring. When you fulfill your desire and you feel incomplete immediately, of what use is that fulfillment? Huh? So, as soon as you fulfill a desire, you are happy for at best 3 minutes. And then some new commercial comes as you are watching television, or somebody comes wearing something or carrying something, a new technological gadget and something, and immediately the mind goes, how come it's not mine yet? Because the whole world is divided into 2. What is that? Mine, not yet mine. Mine and yet to be mine. So really speaking, the prayorthi, the one who wants prayers, is actually Shreyorthi, wants Shreyas really. Like the child needing to, lie down and rest instead of running around, chooses to run around. Like this, the Aviveki really wants, everybody wants Shreyas. There's only one thing to want, gaining which I feel satisfied. Totally. That sense of lack centered on the self is completely gone. I feel complete. I feel whole. I accept myself. I have no judgment centered on the self. That is what one wants. I stop seeking approval from every bush and plant that I meet, out of a sense of desperation. This is what one wants. And when one is told that the self is the only thing that is there, the self is the only thing that is approvable, then this desire drops. Because all the desire, hidden behind all the desires, is only this one desire, is to accept oneself and to have a sense of fulfillment centered on the I. So really speaking, there are no 2 roads. Neither are there 2 sets of people, one seeking Shreyas and one seeking prayers. That is okay if both the 2 roads are, real. But one is the road and the other is a dead end. Yeah. And who is going on the dead end? The dead end Jiva. The dead-end jiva is going on the dead-end road. You know, it's like asking directions in India. Never do that. You know, it's not like they're telling lies. You know what it is? It's like if you are asking directions, that means you are a newcomer, correct? Yeah. You haven't been there very long. And we take guests very seriously. Atithi Devo Bhava. Look upon the guest. May you be the one who looks upon the guest as God. So then if God is asking for directions, you know, if an incarnation of Bhagavan is asking for directions, how can you say, no, I don't know? That feels not good. So they do the next best thing, which is what? Make up something. Usually they will not make up too much. They'll say, keep going straight. Seedhe jate raho, you know. And then how long? No, keep going, you know. Okay, Baba, I know. Okay, I'll go straight, but how long? Just keep going till you reach that pawn shop over there. There'll be some small little shop, you know, selling cigarettes and this horrible little invention called pawn, which makes all red, you know, tobacco and everything. Anyway, so go to that shop. Go near there. Okay, then what do I do? Then ask the fellow there. And then you go there. After 20 minutes, chalke, walking, you go there. And then that fellow says, actually you have come 20 minutes in the opposite direction. It was not this. You know. And you can't even catch hold of the person who gave the direction because the person would have shimmied out of there. The person is not there at all. Or otherwise they'll say, go there, take a left, and then immediately you will come across a bridge, take a right. Before or after the bridge? After. And the ways they say after, you feel like they themselves are confused. And then take another left. Okay, so 2 lefts and a right? That's right. You know. Then after that what? Then the last left, that right there. Right there you take a left. And then of course one is completely confused and is totally in the, you know, opposite direction. So this is exactly Preyo Marga. You keep asking directions your whole life. What am I supposed to do? Why was I born? What is my purpose? Where should I go? How? Why was I? For what purpose I was created? This is the person who is asking for direction and guidance. Oh God, please give me guidance. Please show me a sign. What, God is one signpost or what? Turn left here as though Bhagavan is going to tell. But the Preyo Marga, the person going on Preyo Marga is just like the confused traveler. The confused traveler, and each time you ask for direction, you know, it's like how you ask for the directions in India, it's like that. Because you ask for direction from another person who suffers from that same sense of finitude and lacks self-approval and is full of self-judgment, and that person sends you on another spin. And then after that there is another spin-off, and then you feel like you have been through the spin cycle of the washing machine. Several janmas later you are wrung out and exhausted as soon as you are born. Yeah. As soon as you are born you need rest. For how long? For the rest of your life. This is the outcome of going on the road of prayers. There is no road of prayers at all. Then, but how can you say there is no road? You know, the Upanishad described it so nicely in the beginning. You know, in the beginning it described it because you were clinging on to the road. So the Upanishad very kindly pried off the fingers that were clinging on, you know, one by showing a big thing to hold on to. Because when do you hold on to the road? When you are desperate that there is nothing else. Like a child holding on to candy, you know. The child is holding on to the lollipop, and then they say it is like taking candy from the child's hand. The person who made that saying doesn't know, you know, what it is like to take candy out of a child's hand. Yeah, it has a monkey grip, I tell you. It's not going to give. Yeah, it's like a baby monkey's grip. So how to make it give it up? You give it a balloon. You know, you show the balloon. And the lollipop, you don't want the parents don't want it to eat because it's time for, if not the child, for them to sleep. So they don't want the child to have a sugar high. So then what will they do? They will show it a balloon. Seeing the balloon, the candy drops, the child reaches out for the balloon. And so too, the whole understanding of what this Atma is was the biggest balloon possible that takes one from the Preyo Marga, Preyo path to, to the Shreya, to the path of Shreyas very easily, because the person willingly gives up what is not in their best interest when presented with that which is truly in the best interest, which is bigger, which is better, which is more exalted, which is better for them. So that is what has happened. So the two were there because one was, when you cling on to the false road, it has to be accounted for. Before you can give it up, it has to be described, it has to be accounted for, then cleaned up, and then put there should be a board put on that road. No entry, do not enter, danger lurks ahead, so that the people who are the wayfarers, who they are informed. This is what it is. But even though the no entry board is there, people mow down that board and go to that road. This is what it is. So therefore, there are no two roads. Two roads are not there. One is the road, the other is a spin-off. One is the real road, the other one just goes in circles. It looks like a road, it looks like well mown and well kept. The other one actually may look ill kept. So even though this road, looks nicely mowed down and trees planted on either side, it's just a little trail. What kind of a trail? A trail of tears. A trail lined with tears, a trail lined with strife, a trail lined with unending confusion, a trail where one is left trailing for more. Yeah, this is what the first trail. It's just a circle. Then you say, I feel like I have been here before. You get a deja vu. Sitting in kindergarten, you think, this sounds familiar. A for apple, B for bat, C for cat, D for dog. V for Vedanta. Oh, now that sounds that sounds very familiar. So there is no such thing called prayers at all. One has to get this out of the head, then only something will go in the head. If you keep thinking two paths, this whole path, only thing that is true is psychopath. That's all I've told you. Yeah. No other path. You don't know that you are the whole. You need to know. That is the only path. What other path is there? It's an as though road, really. So one is a road that leads you in circles. The other road is shaped like a horseshoe. It leads you back to yourself. You make the final U-turn. You come back. This is called Shreyas. So it is very beautifully presented in the form of two roads, and the traveler is described in great detail. And all the vehicles, the vehicle that the traveler is taking, whether it's a Porsche or a Mercedes-Benz or our Khatara bullock cart, everything is described in great detail. The roads themselves are described. The driver is described. Everything is beautifully described. And then in this description there is a message. And what is the message? Do not take the wrong road. The Upanishad herself is scared that the people may think that there are two roads. Therefore, this Valli, Arabhyate, this Valli has begun. So, so what is the first? We have already read the first verse. What is the first verse? Ritam pibantau sukrutasya loke. Let us, understand the translation. Ritam means here Satyam. Satyam means what? Truth. What is the truth here? Truth means what? Truth means karma phala. That is what. So Ritam and Satyam, when they are used together, one means truth speaking and the other means integrity. Ritam vadishyami, satyam vadishyami. One is truth and the other is integrity, meaning integrity of thought, word and deed. Here ritam means satyam. Satyam means what? Avashyam bhavitvat, because it is definitely going to happen. Pibantau, two people are drinking. What are they drinking? Sukrutasya ritam. Sukrutasya ritam pibantau. Like this you have to take it. Asmin loke sukrutasya ritam pibantau. They are drinking in this world. They are drinking. Sukritasya means Svayam Kritasya and also Dushkritasya, Sukritasya, that way also you can take. They are drinking. Sukrita means the fruits of action. They are drinking the results of action. Drinking because there is a kind of a, when you sip a juice or milkshake with a straw, there is that feeling of, that long, deep inhalation. And that sucking, is very satisfying. So that's why it says that with full gusto they are inhaling the fruits, they are imbibing and enjoying the fruits of, to increase the enjoyment, the drinking metaphor is used. These two are drinking. And what are they drinking? The cocktail of karma. Why cocktail? Cocktail means what? Yeah, cocktail means what?
Some mixture.
Yeah, it's a mixture of at least two things. So here the karmic cocktail, little bit of punya, because it's very expensive, yeah. And lot of papa. Shake, 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 serve. And this is what they are both drinking. Two fellows are drinking. And like Adi Shankara said in the Bhashya, there are two Atmas presented for the ease of understanding. And I joked, even one Atma to understand it's going to take so long. Two Atmas, just so that the beginning stage, the duality is, the apparent duality is ratified or validated before the universal, or the Atma that is one and only one is presented properly. So therefore, Pibantau. So Adi Shankara says there are as though two Atmas. Dvau Atmanau Upanyasyete. Two Atmas are presented. For what? Same thing. Pratipatti Saukaryartham, for the ease of understanding, two Atmas are presented. And so where are these fellows? We have to see. Two fellows are drinking, we got that. They are drinking the karmic cocktail, we got that also. Little bit of punya, a lot of papa, or at least that is how they feel. So where is this drinking happening? Guham pravishtau. Oh my God. Yeah. In a cave, tavern, cavern, in a bar that is hidden. These two fellows have gone to the bar. And how many times did they go to the bar? Bar, bar, Bar means again and again. They went to the bar, bar. Again and again they keep going because they are addicted to this drink. The samsara cocktail is extremely addictive. How can papa be addictive? Papa means the fruits of wrong action which give uncomfortable situations. How come that is addictive? That is also addictive. Why is that addictive? Tell me. Because one keeps hoping punya will come. Yeah. One keeps drinking because they feel, okay, now the rotten taste is coming, but after a little while sweet taste aayega, it will come. That is the feeling. Also it is addictive because when people are going through difficulties, sometimes they feel like that's the only way, because the disconnection and the pain and the sorrow is so much that when they are going through difficulties, they feel like at least now people will pay attention. Yeah. At least now, because of this difficulty, because of this so-called disability, because of this pain, because of this sorrow, now people will start paying attention to me. I know somebody who was not, so many problems they had, including not being able to hear. The hearing loss was not from birth, it was later on because of some disease. And a free implant, cochlear implant was offered where they could hear perfectly. No, I don't want it. I was shocked. So were the people who offered. Why? You'll be able to hear. No, I don't want to hear. Because my identity will go away. My identity, what is the identity? The negative identity of not being able to hear will go away. This is what it is. So addicted to the cocktail. Even Papa becomes addictive in a certain sense. Because I feel like if I try a little harder, I can overcome this. If I do something a little more differently, I can overcome this. If I do less of this and more of that, I can overcome this. And meantime, one is keeping on creating more and more and more and more karma. And where is this bar? The bar they visit, bar. This is where? In a kind of a cave. Ill-lit cave. That's why cave. Guham pravishta, having entered the cave. What kind of a cave is it? Parame parardhe. It's actually the ultimate cave. Where is this cave? In the space of the heart. Harda kashe. The cave of the heart is just the buddhi. One's own buddhi is the cave where these two fellows, these two atmas have gone on a drinking, karma cocktail drinking spree. Really are they two? Look closely. No. Chaya tapau brahmavido vadanti. Chaya means what? Shadow. Atapau, the sun. So one is the sun, the other is the shadow. So one is the Atma, the other is the shadow. Who is the other shadow? What is the name for the other shadow? Jiva. Piva. Atma and Jiva. So two Atmas. And even though the dual is used, Kritam Pibantau, only one fellow is drinking. The other one is watching. Not like the lioness, in the lion kingdom. That's where the expression the lion's share came. Even though the lioness may go and drag one deer or one hyena or one buffalo, she will, cut the neck and bring it. She will drag it to the pride, and that low growling sound comes. From who? From the lion. The children have to back away. The lioness has to back away. First he will eat. Without feeling guilty, taking his own sweet time, he will get the best cut, the juiciest cut of the meat, and the freshest cut he will get. And the lioness stands there drooling, waiting for her turn. Because if she goes, then he will bite her. Yeah, he will scratch, bite and maim her. So she has to stand waiting for the lion to have the lion's share. Correct? So here also the jiva is eating, drinking. And Atma is waiting, drooling. Meri bari. Kab aayegi? She's thinking, when will my term come? Is she thinking that? No, not like the lioness. Non-drooling, non-waiting, just looking on. Yeah. In fact, one is unreal, really speaking, one is just a projection of the other. So what is going on is a masquerade, right? So the two is a spoof, just like the two margas were presented. Yeah, now I have the correct answer why two atmas are presented. Because the two roads were presented and one of them was falsified. So now two atmas to go on the two roads will be presented and one of them will be cancelled. See, this is why. This is why. And so these two, these two atmas, both are not drinking. One is looking, the other one is drinking, and one is not looking with greed and sorrow. When will my turn come? Iti. No. One is just looking totally uninvolved. Totally uninvolved. Asango hi ayam purushaha. Asanga. Uninvolved, it just looks on. But then why pibantau? Why the dual is used? Well, Adi Shankara says something very beautiful in the Bhashya here. He says it is Chhatri Nyaya. It's the logic of the umbrella carriers. Chhatri Nyaya means what? Don't forget what was Adi Shankara's hometown. Which state? Kerala. Kerala, it rains so much. Correct? All the time it's raining. First you get southwest monsoon winds and monsoons. Then you get southeast monsoons. Both the monsoons come. Yeah. And when do they come? Really soon. Soon after one another. That's why it's called monsoon. And so Adi Shankara was used to umbrella carriers. Umbrella is an old invention. Long ago people had something to hold to do this. So let's say there's a big crowd of people going to the market. They used to have market days when the vegetables and everything used to come from the farm, and then they used to come to the marketplace, and all the women and men would come and sell, and all the people who are going to buy the vegetables are coming in hordes. It's a rainy day. When is it not a rainy day? And then if you're sitting in the balcony of a second story house, what do you see? Chhatris. You see only the chhatris. Chhatri means umbrella. So then, you look at your friend who is also looking from the second story, from the vantage point, and say, Chhatrinaha yanti. Chhatrinaha means the one who is wielding a chhatri. So the wielder of the chhatris go, And so there may be 200 people there. Only 125 or 150 may be carrying chhatris. The other 50 are not carrying chhatris. Still they get the term Chhatrinaha, correct? Why? Because it is called majority nyaya. Since most of the people are carrying umbrellas, the ones that don't carry umbrellas are also carried with the umbrella, correct? Yeah. So here also, one fellow is not drinking, but he also gets a bad name, even though he is not drinking, just by the force of association with the one who is drinking. And this is what happens. We have another ancient example to illustrate this. It says, do not drink water under the date palm tree. Why? Why? What is wrong with drinking water under the date palm tree? What will happen? Because people will think you are drinking toddy. Because date palm is associated with date toddy, a wine. What is that? Like a home brewed wine. Wine or something alcoholic. Toddy. Yeah. And so if you stand under the date palm tree and even drink water, people will immediately assume, because of the association of the date palm, that you must be drinking toddy. And you get a bad name, just for innocently drinking water. So similarly, the first Atma here, which is Bhagavan, which is Ishvara, which is like the sun which illuminates everything, poor thing that Jiva has given Atma also a bad name by its very bad behavior. No, say the people who know. Chaya atapa vadanti iti. Chaya and atapa. Atapa means sun and the shadow. Which is the shadow? The one who is drinking is the shadow. The other one is casting the shadow. Really speaking, there is one, the other one is an impersonator, a masquerader. And who are the vadanti? Who say? Brahmavidaha, the sannyasis, the knowers of Brahman say this. And not only that, even the householders who are highly evolved, spiritually evolved householders say this. Who are the spiritually evolved householders? Two words are used. Nachiketaha means those who perform Nachiketa Agni, the Agni to go to heaven and all those things. And those householders who are called Panchagnayaha means they keep the keepers of the 5 fires. And in the olden days, this is what the 5 fires were always maintained from the time of marriage till the time of death. And in death, the body would be offered to this fire as the final oblation, final offering. So, Abahaniya Agni, Garhyapatya Agni, Dakshinagni, Savyagni and Avasatya Agni. These are 5 fires. These are the names of the 5 fires. So the people who keep the 5 fires, they have to keep these fires burning. They are very aware people. They are very knowledgeable. And they also know the Vedas. Same thing with the Nachiketa people. Oh, but they don't know Vedanta. How do they know this? Because there are plenty of chapters in the Veda itself which talk about this truth, that the Atma is to be gained. And what is that? Even in the Rig Veda, in the Samhita portion, in the mantras for rituals, there is, mokshartham aham idam karishye. To gain, antahkarana shuddhi, I do this. I do all this. Like this, there are rituals. Plus, the people who studied the Veda deeply know that the prize of the Veda is in the second part. They know that. Even if you have studied the first part deeply, they know that. So the well-aware, well-erudite householders, well-read householders know this. And the Brahmavid, the sannyasis also know this. What do they know? That actually there is one. There is not two. They know this. And so what do they say? They say that one is Chaya, the other is Atapa. So the one who thinks himself to be the Jiva is actually the shadow side of the Atma. So it's like a masquerade. So if you say A is impersonating B, correct? So now we know it's not a two people are not mentioned. One is impersonating the other. So if A is impersonating B, will the impersonator stay at home and somebody else will come out in a costume? No, that is unthinkable. The one who is impersonating will be behind the costume, correct? So it's the same person. So when Atma, Nitya Shuddha Mukta Buddha Atma, ever free, eternal, limitless, all knowledge, all pervasive, ever free, and that which is of the nature of Bhagavan, this Atma wears a tattered garb of the beggar. It is known as the Jiva. So Atma is masquerading as the beggar here. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, you have abandoned me. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I'm unloved. Oh, I want this. Oh, I don't have that. When am I going to be free? When am I going to have this? Oh, Bhagavan, show me your face. Who is saying? The face of Bhagavan behind this mask. And so, this particular, verse and the next one after it will show the 2 paths, so to speak, which are really not 2 paths. And so the shadow goes on the shadow path really and makes the mistake of thinking that to be real. Thinking itself to be real and thinking the pursuit also to be real. Because only when you think you are finite, you can go after finite pursuits, correct? Yeah. So there is 2 mistakes here. You think you are finite, and so you don't know that you are a shadow, and then you choose shadowy pursuits. Both are problems. And that will continue next week, the discussion of that. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Any questions? Yeah, just like the two birds in the Mundaka. That will be still prayers. Spiritually evolved householders require resources to keep the 5 fires. It is prayers only. Can you spell Shreyas? Yeah, look at how Arun has spelt it. That is the correct spelling. Right there. Fruits of action cannot decide Shreyas or prayers. You have to choose. And if we need resources to do our dharma, will it be prayas or Shreyas? Prayas. Only the pursuit of moksha is alone Shreyas. Everything else comes under prayas. Yeah, I explained that. Yeah. Why is it said two Atmas? Because one thinks of itself as separate. Yeah. Any questions here? Oh.